Hi Muses, I'm about to, if you can see, the mess that is my kitchen, but that little table over there is going to be, just don't look at it, I just can't even, where I'm going to be doing painting inside my Mindful Muses group. It's a free group if you're not already in there and you're looking for a community, a connection to a creative collective that feels like me and all the good times that this is, with being a muse, what that means. That means being a leader. That means being inspired by the richness of life, but knowing that that inspiration and creativity is going to flow out into creations, whatever that looks like for you, whether it is paintings like me or writing or music or just your mothering, the way you show up for work, the way you be in life is your creative energy, your connection to it. It's about using that as a vehicle to become more conscious and intentional and mindful with your life and being the best that you can be in all your relationships, in your health, in your spirituality, in the way you show up for yourself. That's what Mindful Muses is all about. Join me in there because I'm about to, as I said, sit down on my ass on that chair and get some painting and doing a live stream painting. But before I do any of that, I'm in my kitchen because my studio is next to my kitchen and making me another cup of coffee because this is the work before the work, right? Even though right now you have the chance to join me inside Soulful Spirals, I'll drop the links in the comments below after this because I really want to get into flow. I'm feeling really frustrated because it's already 3 o'clock or something and I should have been painting when the light was at its brightest, which is about 11-12, but because of this whole situation, isolation, children at home, there's no daycare, there's no school, there's no other people, my village that I normally depend on to help me have a chance to do this means I'm feeling frustrated because I haven't been able to paint. And also because I wanted to showcase this and launch this Soulful Spirals, which is my virtual workshop where you get to paint with me. And it's a really small, it's $27 for this first live round, so it's a no-brainer. It's going to be a double, triple that amount when I release it as a self-study thing. But I was like, no, I wanted a chance for us to gather in a virtual space because of isolation, to connect and come back to you, to get all that frustration and the busyness and chaos of life and then be able to come back to the calm and connection and flow and expression and unleashing and remembering who you are outside of motherhood and busyness and freaking out and quarantine and realizing your relationships and all the things that you've been distracted by being able to go out and go to the movies and having social events and things now coming to a head and forgetting your spiritual practices and your soul connections and your creativity and the things that feels inconvenience and just not being able to feel grateful for the fact that they were the luxuries that we have just come to get used to and still not diminishing or bypassing the frustration that you feel, which is what I'm feeling right now. So I'm making my cup of coffee. It is meditative. It's like a mental sign, symbol, marker for myself and my brain to calm down. It takes 2 minutes, 3 minutes, but you know how you have to actually focus on what you're doing? Because this is how desperate I am for coffee now. I'm doing tea bag coffee, which is not the best, but that's just what I have to work with. But just a quiet dipping, or making yourself a cup of tea and having the 2 minutes, not even a minute, to just watch the color change. That's all we've got nowadays. And yet we feel like that's a luxury. That's a inconvenience, and who has time for that? But the thing is, if you don't have time for that, that's why I'm feeling frustrated. That's why I am getting annoyed and impatient and not being the kind of mother I want to be and being the kind of artist I want to be and being the kind of mentor I want to be, and for my clients and for my artwork and for my muses and for my customers. And what do you need to exhale? If you would like to make yourself a cup of coffee, join me, or a cup of tea, whatever, or wine, wherever you are in the world. I'm sure the sun is down somewhere. and you just want a moment to like come back to calm and just watch a really slow process of someone doing real time, or the way I'm doing real time watercolor painting in calm, and just join me for a moment of just sitting. I don't know how long I have. She's just been put down for a nap. She may start calling out for me because she's bored and she doesn't want to sleep, but she's also tired. She's also irritable, and a 6-year-old, so it's like, is just like, oh. But it's a practice, it's experience, it's a decision to close that off, to draw that boundary. It's a sacred line. It's this thing that Elizabeth Gilbert, when I went to visit and to watch her, to go and listen to her talk at her latest Business Chicks event, I think, was it last month? Yeah, feels like a billion years ago, when we were free to go out and go on trains and be around people, right? One of the things she said was, it is our job to really, I'm totally paraphrasing here, but from what I'm remembering, what I'm taking for this time is to really draw that sacred circle around you. And what you choose to put inside that circle, that's what's sacred. And for us, in order to be able to show up powerfully and to be able to do the work that we need to do in the world, yes, be badasses or hustle or empowerment and all that kind of stuff, but really is to be able to be fully relaxed. But in order to be fully relaxed, which is like such a new concept for all of us, is to know what is sacred and to be able to hold the boundaries of that. And so the whole thing that she shared, I talked about it more inside the Mindful Muses. So I did a full kind of, not a full, but like a little bit of an overview of everything I got from it. So you can check it out again in my free Facebook group. That's where all the good stuff is. Go check it out in there. And so I'm just like, you have to choose what is sacred. And so for me, coming back to like journaling for 10 minutes, give mummy some writing time, or to make the effort to like notice when I'm making a cup of coffee and choosing to be able to have a couple of sips while it's still hot, even though you get distracted by everything else. Someone's always needing a snack, someone needs a Band-Aid, someone needs more water. Coming down, coming back to that calm place where you know that, you know what, you've got this. Everything's going to be all right. You are more than capable of handling whatever's going to come up. You've done it before. You have overcome before. You are an abundance of light and joy and intellect and wisdom and inspired insight. You have this connection to the divine and this calling to create and unleash. You are a vessel of light and joy and encouragement, coming back to that place and then exhaling, taking that moment, and then taking the steps forward that you need to take, whatever it is that's coming up, stepping back into the chaos, stepping back into the hurricane that is life right now. That is all. Let me grab the milk. Just a dash of milk. Make my coffee. Now I'm feeling a little more calm because I'm going to have my coffee. Join me inside Mindful Muses. If you haven't already, definitely do that. If you would like to paint with me, you know that if you could, you would finally, entertain that creative curiosity of playing with watercolor. That's what I'm offering right now. You can come paint with me virtually in a private room. We're going to Zoom it and join all the lovely ladies. It's already signed up so far. It'll be incredible muses because I only attract amazing people because, like attract like, birds of a feather. And you're going to learn from me, like the technical stuff. This is how I do my watercolor. So if you haven't seen, you can check out on my page the time lapses of how I do my watercolor. But that's the thing about time lapses, right? It feels cool and fast and like edgy and, entertaining. But the real process, just like life, is slow and meditative. And my process had to work with my season of life, which is full of interruptions, right? I really started it when I had a newborn at home, and she's 2 now. But it became a process where I had to be interrupted all the time. I had to stop halfway. I had to, leave it. And so I've made this kind of process where it worked for me to create the kind of work I want to create. And so it's over 5 days. Instead of doing one intensive workshop like you would if you could get out and attend a all-day workshop, like 4 hours with me. It would be really cool. It would be really fun. It would, you know, we would be able to show each other. I'll be able to show you my whole thing, all my different trials, and you can, you know, feel the paper. I can't give that for you, but you can do some of this at home. And to be honest, in the 4 hours, if you were in person with me, I wouldn't be able to share everything that I could share because I have so much to share. And you could not only just now watch me over the 5 days, we'll do an hour live every day so we can paint together. And so you make it a priority and you have a reason, because I know some of you just really need a reason to like, oh no, I need to go and attend this workshop with Brenda right now, and tell your family to, you know, move to the side and give them whatever it is that they need to entertain themselves. You're drawing that sacred line around yourself so you can connect for an hour. But there's a pop-up Facebook group so you can dip in and out as you need, and so that I can also put in extra resources as we need to. You can watch me paint. I can talk things through. And we just have like, you know, like old school knitting circle, which is what I've always wanted to create, but I just kind of never got around to it. And I was kind of scared. But now because of this whole isolation situation, I'm like, this is perfect timing, because God knows. He knows he needs to remind me that I live in perfect timing, divine timing all the time. And we will paint together, but at the same time, because it's over 5 days, you will have time to kind of walk away, because the things I'm teaching you isn't like how to paint. This is how to hold the brush. This is how colors work, which is all the things that I will be teaching you, but also stuff like, how do you create that sacred space? How do you find the things that hold meaning for you? Because I don't want you to be a sad copy of me and just create a Brenda copy. I want you to find your marks, your kind of colors, the things that hold meaning for you, so that the painting that you make holds deeper meaning for you as well. And more than just the pretty painting at the end, it's the process of getting there. We're really enjoying that process. It's the mindful connection. It's the setting those conscious intentions of connecting to your creative energy. It is talking about color, but what it means about this color over this color. It is practicing, noticing the fears and resistance that comes up as you're trying something new. As I keep saying, right, it's a brave new world right now. And this is a new way for me to share my work, but let's be brave together. And the stuff that's going to come up that I want to really explore in our 5 days together, will probably be a couple of days more than that, probably give you that extra weekend knowing me, is fears will come up. The things that you'll say to yourself, the stories that you keep telling yourself about why you can't, or the things that you're doing is wrong, or how you're waiting for something to happen before you can. And you will notice how you use the same stories and same fears and the same doubts and the same sabotage patterns comes up in other areas of your life. And being able to practice noticing that and facing it and working through it in something new like painting gives you a chance to practice noticing it, facing it, and doing something to work through it in the other areas of your life. That's what I'm really excited about for Soulful Spirals. So I will drop the comment with the links in the comment below. That's what I'm really excited about, more than just showing you, oh, this is how I make my watercolor paintings, which is totally excited to show you, but you will walk away not just with a pretty painting and the skills to be able to do, you know, play with watercolor, is noticing the fears that comes up, the way you speak to yourself about doing something new, trying something brave, trying something that's different, the way you notice what colors mean to you and be able to create art with deeper meaning. That's what I'm really more excited about in terms of sharing with you guys. We actually start next week, so the doors close on Friday. So I'm going to drop the links below. I can't do it right now because I was making myself a cup of coffee. If you're watching the replay of this, definitely still comment below #YayReplay so that I can come back around. If you have any questions about all the stuff, check out my page. That's where you're at right now. Check out my page with all the time lapses of all the watercolors. It should be everywhere at the moment because that's what I'm talking about. If you're watching a replay of this and it's way later, definitely DM me and ask me if there's a self-study version of this or the next available virtual workshop, because I'm getting so excited and I'm getting so many ideas about the things I want to share with all the Soulful Spiral students. definitely come join us inside. Right now, it's a special first live round price, which is never going to be this low ever again. But I wanted to acknowledge this kind of crazy isolation time. And I know that everyone is looking for a chance to not to walk away, to have a moment to come back to center and the connection and that sense of calm and knowing and remembering your divine connection that you have. And despite the chaos and overwhelm of uncertainty right now. Anyway, so join me inside Mindful Muses. Find the link in my header, because I'm going to be painting live now that I'm a bit more unleashed and not holding on to all that frustration. So it's going to come out on the paper. Although right now, my paintings, if you haven't seen, there will be replays of it inside Mindful Muses, the Facebook group, of the first layers. But now we're kind of hitting that messy middle part where everything just looks shit. Everything just looks, so come join me and you can see how I'm going to work through that. Trusting the process, surrendering to the process, remembering who it is that you are, and that is someone who is connected to the divine, loved deeply. You are a muse, and if you can surrender to that process and keep going with it, the masterpiece will come through. Your message, you being the vessel, the light, the joy, the art will come through. Anyway, I'll see you guys in there. Bye.